best life, yeah. Something you and me, oh. You both got some best life, yeah. Jumping, flexing, I know. I just want you. Something you and me, oh. You both got some best life, yeah. You both got my best life, yeah. You both got my best life, yeah. Something you and me, oh. You both got my best life, yeah. Jumping, flexing, oh. I just want you. Something you and me, oh. You both got my best life, yeah.
Okay. Testing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We are live on multiple platforms. We're live on Facebook. Hey, Facebook, The Kempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. We are also live, of course, on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. We are live backstage on TikTok. We're live on Twitch and Twitter. This is our Tuesday Takeover, where we talk about a variety of reality TV news, pop culture news, and we have a whole assortment of things to talk about. People are wondering, who was that? The artist's name is Brasco, Brasko. The name is Best Life. I have to, sometimes you have to motivate yourself in order to, before you go live. And that's one of the ways that I'm doing it. That's my song. That's my jam. Yes. Shout out to our Team Kempire Royal Court members, guys. If you'd like to become a member of the channel, head on over to teamkempire.com/join. Be sure to stay tuned at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. We will be premiering the visual version of our podcast, Kempire Radio, on the Kempire Radio YouTube channel. So if you're not subscribed there, subscribe to the podcast, Kempire Radio. All right. I know it's been like almost 2 weeks since a new episode of the podcast, but I'm glad I waited. There's so much to unpack. There's so much to unpack today. And there's certain things that I want to say. We'll get to that. Let me just jump right into it. Tuesday Takeover, guys. It has transformed. It has transformed from being a 90-Day Fiancé recap to TLC Takeover to now Tuesday Takeover, because there's just so much that we want to talk about in pop culture news, in reality TV news, and reality TV in general. So I'll start from the top. We've been talking about 90-Day Fiancé. First of all, 90-Day Fiancé, The Single Life, is officially out on Discovery Plus. Don't worry if you don't have Discovery Plus. They eventually will put the season on TLC. But if you do have Discovery Plus, the first episode came out on the 12th, yesterday. Okay? All right. Okay, for those that were wondering, the name of the song is Best Life, and it's by Brasco, Brasko. I'll be playing it again at the end because that is my theme song this week. Just saying. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Guys, if you are watching, replay crew as well, I want to know where you're watching from. All right? I'm watching from, well, not watching. I am performing from here in New York City. Let me know where you guys are watching from as well. We're going to just start about 90 Day Fiancé. So 90 Day Fiancé, The Single Life, is officially out, the first episode. Some of the same people from last season are back. 90 Day Fiancé, I know you're probably hurting trying to find, people to bring on the show. But some of these people that you're bringing back, I'm not interested in. I am not interested in. But we won't talk about 90 Day Fiancé, The Single Life just yet, just because I was literally in the middle of preparing for the show and trying to watch the episode. So for those that are saying that 90 Day Fiancé is already on TLC, yes, season 1 and season 2. Season 3 is not, unless they've changed things. Season 3 is now officially, the first episode is on Discovery Plus. But maybe they've changed things. Maybe they're Cohen's, releasing at the same time. Who knows? All right, St. Louis is in the building, upstate New York, Hawaii is in the building, Brooklyn, New York City. Love it, love it, love it. The Philippines. Welcome. Okay, let's talk about 90 Day Fiancé, the UK. All right, so I actually really enjoy 90 Day Fiancé, the UK because it feels fresh. 90 Day Fiancé feels fresh. All right? 90 Day Fiancé, the UK. It feels different because we have different couples. It feels authentic to what we love about 90 Day Fiancé. The couples, though, are just as messy and... Okay, let me just get into the couples because we missed the previous episode. So he finally revealed to Christine that he's in financial straits. All right? Financial straits because he's been sending all kinds of money to her, but he just had to step down from his job. And now she's just like, you've been lying to me this entire time. We still have not found out whether or not Christian, their son together, is actually his son. His friends are questioning. I already told you what he needs to do. Just saying. I actually really like Sean. Christine, I still got my eye on. But here, we don't like to assume just because you're from a foreign country that you're just trying to get to the UK or you're just trying to get to America. Although there are those people. But she has received a lot of help from him for their child together, but also for her other children. But now she is under the understanding he can't support her the way that he used to. And now she feels differently. And look, we can debate. She feels differently because he lied to her. She thought she was coming for a better life with the man that she loves, but she's now coming to this dirty apartment. She's got to clean it up, and now he doesn't have the money that he says that he has to support them. Liar. Okay. So I feel for Sean, but Sean, you should have been transparent with her, but maybe in your ego, you're like, well, I supported her this entire time. She'll understand. I don't know if it's the next day or the following. She's like, I gotta go. Where are you going, girl? She goes to visit her friend to talk about all the issues that she's having with him. I mean, it's a big lie. Finances are, if not one of the number one things that break up a relationship. And he wasn't honest with her. But let's move on. This week's episode, hold on. Where's my girl, Katie? So we didn't get Katie and Alejandro this week, but they got engaged last week. So I love this couple, but their big issue was whether or not, they were going to move to be with each other. Well, lo and behold, Alejandro's like, I'll move. Then I started giving Alejandro the side eye. I was like, were you just playing that up for the cameras that you didn't want to move? But then I wouldn't blame him. Being in the UK versus being in Mexico are very different, especially weather. He's also worried about what opportunities will be available to him in the UK. But Katie's not trying to leave her family. But now the pressing issue for her is, will she convert to Catholicism? Because the family's like, they're upset that Alejandro's leaving, but they want to have a Catholic wedding. And she's like, oh, I don't know about that. Okay, don't make fun of my accent. Oh, we didn't even talk about this. We haven't had a Tuesday takeover since this happened. Queen Elizabeth passed away last week. I know a lot of our United Kingdom, subscribers have been mixed reactions. And I'm not surprised at the mixed reactions. Anytime we report on the royals, there are a whole assortment of conversation that happens, especially with colonialism, racism. But there are a lot of people that also revere the Queen and the royal family. I'm not surprised at the mixed reaction of Queen Elizabeth's passing. But we also have to keep in mind she still was someone's mother, someone's grandmother, someone's sister. So the queen has passed away. Now we have a new king. Well, not we. Now the United Kingdom has a new king, King Charles. King Charles III. And he's been receiving a little bit of backlash because some moments have been going viral with the way that he treats people that work for him. Did you guys see that? We could literally report on the royals all day, every day, because of all of the different things that people are talking about Meghan Markle not being invited to be by the Queen's bedside. Look, I didn't run with that story because Kate Middleton, Princess, Duchess, there we go. She also was not there. It was just the immediate family. Oh, Conor McGregor says, thank you, Conor. So the accent wasn't that bad. I forgot to talk about the Queen. I didn't have that on my list for Tuesday Takeover, but we haven't been live since the Queen has passed away. So now it is King Charles III. He could have chosen a variety of different names that are a part of his name. People have found it interesting that he decided to choose Charles because the last King Charles, his reign wasn't that great, according to history. But a lot of people are not excited for King Charles either. Look, I've heard things about people that know King. I can't even get used to saying King Charles. So it's going to be interesting because now there is a huge shift in the royal family and the way that things are in the United Kingdom. If you are from the United Kingdom and you have thoughts, share your thoughts. I like hearing what you guys have to say because I always see mixed things about how people feel about Meghan Markle, how people feel about King Charles. Damn, I still can't get used to it. I guess eventually I will. Queen Elizabeth was the longest reigning British monarch, 70 years. If she had lived to be at least 2 or 3 more years, she would have beat, was it King Louis? I love history. That's probably the only thing about this stuff that fascinates me. It's not about the colonialism of it all, but it's like the history of it all. I'm like, this happened when and who, what, where, the facts, and those things always interest me. I'm a history nerd. All right. All right. We'll move on. From how did I even get down this rabbit hole? Oh, we were talking about 90 Day Fiancé, the UK. I don't understand why this woman, hold on, let me pull this up because I just do not understand why is this. Oh, wait, we didn't see this couple this past week. I think she needs to run. Her father, Kathleen's father, should rightfully be concerned. He might not be a sex tourist, but he definitely isn't a kind person. Richard can go. I hope she doesn't marry this man. I'm worried for Kathleen. Kathleen seems like such a good person. She's smart. She's working in the Philippines on her. You know, like she has I mean, she probably considers what. Just stay away from Richard, Kathleen. I think she's too sweet for him. He needs something else. I don't know what he needs. He might need never mind. Never mind. I was going to say something. But look, let's not cancel me just yet, okay? We didn't see this couple for the last couple of weeks. It's okay. This couple we haven't seen for the last couple of weeks, I'm okay with that. We finally get to see the gay couple on 90 Day Fiancé the UK this week, Caleb and Marvin. The Seychelles. You know, as soon as I heard about the Seychelles, I was like, where is the Seychelles? So I started Googling schmoogling. I learned a little bit about the Seychelles. Marvin is talking about what life is like being gay in the Seychelles. There is no life. So he kind of like, okay, I'm being with this guy in the United Kingdom where I can be a little bit more free. But this week, Caleb is like, Where's the ring? Caleb, this is Caleb's first time meeting Marvin for the first time. Yes, they've been talking, but what's the rush? They're a sweet couple, but I don't see the rush in getting married. But Marvin seems like that's what he wants to do. He does want to marry him, but he doesn't want to be pressured, especially when Caleb's mom is like, what's your real intentions? Okay, let's talk about Jenny and Sumit. Okay, it's not Jenny and Sumit. He's from Pakistan. And of course, she's from the United Kingdom. But at first I was like, okay, maybe it is a Jenny and Sumit situation. And we'll get to Jenny and Sumit in just a second. Because they're back on 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After. I believe that she's being used. She is definitely being used by this man in order to better his life. He's a nurse. But based off what he's been saying, I'm like, is it lost in translation? Or are you basically saying that you are using this woman for a come up? Just not in those obvious terms. And when he shows a picture of her to his friend, he's like, she's quite old. Yes. She's what, like 40 years older than he is. Damn. It's the comments. You guys in the comment section are hilarious. Guys, if you're just joining us for talk, this is our Tuesday Takeover where we talk about 90 Day Fiancé, the UK. We talk about 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After. We talk about reality TV news, and pop culture news. We have quite a few things to talk about. And yes, I am going to talk about Kandi's interview with the House of Aaron in just a minute because there's a lot to unpack there. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video. Be sure to share the video. Be sure to subscribe. It is a subscribers live chat on YouTube. Facebook. What's going on, Facebook? What's going on, everyone watching? Hey, Mrs. Best on Twitch. She's watching from the Bay Area. Okay. Lisa says the song that we played is on repeat in her car. Awesome. I love that. We're also live on TikTok. TikTok, we see you guys behind the scenes watching as well. I haven't forgotten about you. Keep tapping your screens. Thank you so much for following and thank you for tapping your screens. All right, back to this. Okay, the one couple that I want to talk about, because I'm not going to go in depth. Victoria, if you don't leave this man, he is so suspicious. Okay, we've moved on. She finds out that he is divorced. She's okay with him. He gets held up at immigration because he's just not forthright with all his information. Victoria, whoa. Victoria, leave this man alone. You could do better. Oh, Minky says on Twitch, yeah. A lot of people have told me that if you guys are looking for greater quality, we are live on Twitch. So for video quality, depending on where you're watching from. Okay. So 90 Day Fiancé, the UK, if you haven't watched it, it is available on Discovery Plus. They're not paying me, but they should. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to 90 Day Fiancé because... Not this 90 Day Fiancé. 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After. Why is Big Ed back with us? No one... I thought we were trying to cancel Big Ed. Well, I thought we were canceling Big Ed. Oh, Lord. This week, we finally get Angela. I thought Angela was canceled, too. Angela is still married to Michael in Nigeria, but he still has not been able to get over here. But Angela has moved on with a new man. When they showed the old pictures of this new guy that lives in Canada, I was like, oh, he's yummy. He's still a good looking man now, too. But Angela really has no storyline. But I don't even mind Angela. Who they need to get rid of? Them, Big Ed, and this one. Because she was the one leading the charge to have Big Ed canceled. she got jealous this week because of the way that he was talking with this photographer. Well, with this model. He was the photographer. And he was supposed to be teaching her how to be a photographer. Why is Big Ed not talking to his mom? That sweet woman? Why is Big Ed not talking to his mom? I don't believe the storyline. I just can't imagine Big Ed not talking to his mom. Big Ed has now alienated everyone, all of his friends from his life to be with Liz. Really? She was just canceling you the other day. But that's their storyline. I'm not interested. Another storyline I'm not interested in. Elizabeth and Andre. I'm not interested in this story. At all. Big Ed and Liz, I can watch. Jenny and Sumit, I'm still for Jenny and Sumit because the way Sumit's mom went off last week, until someone comes out with actual proof that Sumit mom is an actress in India, homegirl, that felt very real. Her reaction, her visceral reaction to Sumit revealing that he married Jenny. At this point, once Jenny and Sumit got married, I was like, okay, we're done with their story. But apparently we're not. But I'm still somewhat interested in Jenny and Sumit's story. But I do feel like it's a little pre-produced, especially every time she gets angry and they start like, ah. You saw she... like, Jenny, what are you doing? But Jenny, you look, at this point, you married this man. You've been dealing with him not having your back and always trumping for his family over you for over 10 years. Over 10 years, these two have been going back and forth. Remember, he lied to her multiple times. From the jump, he lied to her. He said he was some other man. We're still trying to find Michael Jones. Was that his name? We're still trying to find Michael Jones. Catfished her. Then he was married to someone else and didn't tell her. I mean, there's been so many different lies. I don't trust Sumit, but she married him. We finally had our beautiful Indian wedding last season, and they're still together, but now their big challenge is trying to get the parents on board. But I'm actually here for watching it unfold, because just the mother's reaction. Okay, wait. I gotta save Jenny and not Jenny. I have to save Kimberly and Usman. Okay, another couple I'm not interested in this season because their story doesn't. It makes sense, but I'm just not interested. One minute she wants to get new boobs. She has new friends. He doesn't like the new friends. There's drama with his mother because the mother didn't want to babysit the child. The only part of this story that was interesting to me was seeing this play out in real time with the war that's happening in Ukraine. That's the only interesting part to me. And I feel for Yara because her mom's not in Ukraine. Her mom is in Prague, but they have family and they have a home in Ukraine. And she hasn't seen her mom in 3 years. But everything else with their storyline, it's like, if I could fast forward, and I could, but I want to be able to talk about it here. And I know some of you that are 90 Day Fiancé fans in the comment section, and I will address it. They're like, well, if you don't like the show, why are you talking about the show? Because there's parts of the show that I like. And I used to love 90 Day Fiancé. And I'm still invested in 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After. Okay? Who else did we have this week before I get to my favorite couple? I think that was it, right? All right, let me talk about my favorite couple. My girl. I don't know why I love Kimberly the way that I do, but I do. I really love Kimberly. And I love her son. I love her relationship with her son. When she broke down at the airport and she was crying about leaving her son, I was like, woo, 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 Kimberly. You know we love, I still love Kimberly. She's a mess. She's great reality TV. Usman. What did you guys think about Usman's song? Soldier Boy. The other song they played last season, I was like, that's not a bad song. I don't think he's a bad artist. I just feel like he's using this show and he's using Kimberly for his career. Kimberly is number one fan. Still, she plays a song for her son. Her son's like, I'm just glad that the song was good. Because there are a lot of people that say they have music out and you're like, what is going on? But I love Kimberly. I really do. I think she's funny. So, and I love the fact with Happily, and this is what saves Happily Ever After. We're going to Nigeria. So she goes to Nigeria and she reunites with Usman and he decides that he is going to kiss her at the airport. Like it's a privilege to kiss him. I don't believe this relationship. I believe that Kimberly does have feelings for him. Feelings. I think he's using her. He's like, you know what? I can be on this show, but then I can still marry because that's another conversation. He's going to marry someone else so he can have children. How old is Usman? How old is he? Okay. Kimberly, for me, saves this show, saves this season. But we shall see. We shall see how this all plays out during this current season of 90 Day Fiancé. I feel like, oh, wait, we forgot to talk about Bilal and Shaeeda. Who's team Shaeeda? Who's team Shaeeda? So if you watched our recap of 90 Day Fiancé's last season, at first we were like, Bilal is terrible. Danielle, if you're still out there, we know you love your team Bilal. But after watching the season play out, I was like, I'm not team Bilal. I'm not team Shaeeda. I'm team Shaeeda, his ex-wife. She was ready to get crunk on Shaeeda. Shaeeda is just annoying. Shaeeda comes across very immature. And we know why, because she's lived a very sheltered life. Do I have a picture of Bilal and Shaeeda? I do, but it's under my other one. Let me hold on. For those that aren't familiar with who these folks are yet. Okay? Oh, no, that's the wrong couple. This one. Bilal and Shaeeda are now on Happily Ever After. All right? But I still look at Bilal with the side eye because there is this sort of gaslighting, problematic energy about him. When she comes up to bring him his tea and grapes, and she all of a sudden is like, okay, to make you happy. I feel like she's always making allowances for Bilal, and he's not doing anything in regards to. I don't think that Shaeeda was wrong with how she addressed Shaeeda at that conversation, but I do think that first of all, they look alike and their names are so similar. Good luck with us this season. Shaeeda's immature, but I also like the fact that she handled that conversation well. But I was here for Shaeeda stepping up. You know, I'm not the one. I was like, damn. Team Shaeeda. Team Shaeeda. Because she seems like the only mature one in this triangle situation. Right? Look, you have a right to your opinion. You guys will have an opportunity to call in for our Tuesday Takeover to weigh in on any of the topics that we're covering. And we cover a lot. So let me move on because there's so much to cover. Where are my notes? Oh, here it is. Okay, yeah. Gigi says the ex-wife is so nasty. I mean, she was. I'm not going to lie. She was. But Shaeeda is annoying. Shaeeda is annoying to me. Ooh, Jada says team wife and fighting against anyone who is team ex-wife. Oh, okay. All right. Don't fight me. Everyone has a right to their opinion. All right. Casey says the fact that Bilal has not been able to hold on to a wife is all his fault. Okay. Let me say thank you. We had a few super chats. Julie, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, Usman is definitely using Kimberly. Bilal is a piece of ish. Okay. Thanks, Julie, for the super chat. Julie sent another super chat. Julie says, I'm all in for Jenny, but her anger outbursts are scary. I do feel bad for Sumit, but he needs to grow up. Agree 100%. Agree 100%. All right. And Deep Pegram, thank you for the super chat. Says, are we not talking about Bilal and Shaeeda or Sheeda? She know her name. You probably did. I almost forgot to talk about them. But we did. I just wanted to give a brief overview of my thoughts on this current season. But there are really only a few couples that I'm really interested in. Kimberly and Usman. Maybe Angela and this love triangle. Sidebar, we didn't talk about this in regards to Angela. She shows her WhatsApp receipts in regards to what Michael said to her, because he started up an Instagram. She says that, he's changed a lot. Look, I can't blame their relationship being strained. They've been apart for such a long time because of the pandemic, because of the immigration issues, of him not being able to come over. So I can see where a relationship can be affected by that. But he says for $5,000, he'll delete the Instagram. Do you think that was real, or she told him to say that so they could have a storyline? She's been taking care of him for a very long time. And she doesn't even want him to work, because she wants to know where he is at all times. I think this relationship's over. But why did Angela go to, look, when the attorney, so Angela went to her attorney, she talks to anyone about her relationship when she shouldn't. She goes to her attorney when he's supposed to be giving her legal advice. The attorney, in his own little confessional, is like, sometimes my clients say more than I need to know. Angela does that. He doesn't need to know about the sexual situation. Like, we don't have phone sex. And that poor attorney. But that attorney confessional part was hilarious to me. Sister on the move, I hope you are doing well and feeling better. So nice to see you here. Julie, thank you so much for another super chat. Julie says, making her apologize is disgusting. Ex-wife started all this, and Bilal should have stepped in to support his wife. By ex-wife. I agree with that. Look, I liked the ex-wife for the drama of the situation. In reality, Bilal should have stepped in. He just sat there like this. Really, Bilal? You're not going to say anything? Casey says, Angela is an animal, but she's good TV. That's why I'm not completely done with Angela. Angela apparently is going to go to Canada to meet with this man. This man's sexy. Just saying. Good for Angela. Who knows what Michael's doing in Nigeria? Being on Instagram and whatnot. All right. Let's move on. All right. Oh, thank you so much again, Julie, for another super chat. She says, Angela and her non-sex combo with the attorney. Right. It was so uncomfortable. So uncomfortable. Thank you so much, Julie, for the super chat. Let's move on, because I've already been live over 30 minutes and we haven't been able to get into all the other things that I want to talk about. You saw the thumbnail. So let me move on. Where do I want to start first? Okay, let me just say congratulations. Congratulations. The Emmys were last night. You know, the Emmys, not a lot of people watch them, but we had some black girl magic that happened last night. Congratulations to Zendaya. She won her second Emmy award for what's that HBO show? Oh, damn it. You guys will remind me in the chat. I can't think of it, but I love it. It's so dark. I got to watch it with all the lights on. She made history with this win. Quinta Brunson won for writing for Abbott Elementary. Literally just started watching Abbott Elementary again for the second time. Such a great show. She is remember she was the one who, she went viral for that theme. Oh, he got Monday. Remember, she's the one. She's come such a long way since then. Now to have this, Euphoria. Thank you, y'all. Thank you. That was Zendaya's show, Euphoria on HBO Max. Thank you. All right. Lizzo won an Emmy. She's halfway to being an EGOT for her reality show, Big Girls. Congratulations to Lizzo, my Taurus sister. But the biggest story that we have to talk about was this speech from Cheryl Lee Ralph. First of all, wagwan, Cheryl. Wagwan. Jamaica, stand up. Stand up, Jamaica. Congratulations to Cheryl Lee Ralph. She's been in this game for such a freaking long time. This is Cheryl Lee Ralph's first Emmy win ever. Shout out to Jack Hay. Jack Hay posted this beautiful message about this. She says for 20-something years, she has been the only Black woman to have won in this category of supporting actress in a comedy. For 20-something years. Now, Cheryl Lee Ralph joins her as the second Black woman. Sidebar, she also revealed that Cheryl Lee Ralph was also vying for the job of Sandra on 227. I could see it, but thank God Jack Hay got it because Jack Hay. I love Jack Hay. Can we take a listen to Cheryl Lee Ralph's speech? Because it was we need this empowering speech today. So let me play the speech. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Because this was such a moving moment.
I am an endangered species, but I sing no victim song. I am a woman, I am an artist, and I know where my voice belongs. Woo! To anyone who has ever had a dream and thought your dream wouldn't, couldn't come true, I am here to tell you that this is what believing looks like. This is what striving looks like. And don't you ever give up on you, because if you get a Quinta Brunson in your corner.
Yes. Yeah. Look. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. Powerful. One of the best moments, and this was early on. First of all, she's a beautiful, beautiful woman. She's been doing this a long time. And we've said this before. We've said this countless times, that sometimes your dream comes later in life. She's been doing this a long time. First Emmy win. She's had so many. You guys in the memes, though. Someone posted a meme. You remember her in Sister Act 2? And how she was so against Lauryn Hill's character from singing? You guys were shady. Y'all posted that picture of her in the audience. I can't. I almost died. People don't even know that she's a singer, too. She was in Dreamgirls on Broadway. In the Beyonce role. But it was just Cheryl role, really. Congrats to Cheryl Lee Ralph. I know Jamaica is so excited today. So excited today. I think all of us are excited, but Jamaica especially. But like I said, congratulations to all of the winners. What's his name? Oh, Carmichael, the comedian who recently came out of the closet. He won an Emmy last night too. Damn. Nella says first. Oh, there we go. Look, Rock says beautiful, classy elegance personified. Exactly. Nella says first Emmy nomination with first Emmy win. Well deserved. Patience, y'all. Keep pursuing your dreams. Don't give up. You just never know when it's going to happen. All right? All right. Yes, the original Dream Girls. All right. Guys, we have almost 1,100 people in the building. Be sure to like the video. Liking the video is an easy and free way of supporting the channel. Let's talk about Nicki Minaj. Oh, Nicki. Where do I go from this? Okay. So if you saw my video yesterday, Nicki Minaj, during her Nicki Tea Party, decided to take shots at Garcelle. And a lot of people were shocked. They were like, why is she taking shots at Garcelle? What did Garcelle do to Nicki? Nicki. So as you know, there's been a lot of conversation and stories about who may have bought the bots to attack Garcelle's son. Right now, Diana Jenkins is suing the bots. Okay. So Nicki went in on Garcelle for being upset about her son being attacked on social media. And then she says, oh, well, you weren't thinking about my son. And everyone's like, what did Garcelle do to you? Well, you may recall when The Real was still on, they interviewed Jennifer Huff, Nicki's husband's victim. And I always find it so interesting how people ride for Nicki the way that they do. You can love Nicki's music and still call her out for when she's wrong. We have to remember, Garcelle is a co-host of The Real, or was a co-host of The Real. She was doing her job. And that's okay for her to do her job. And it's okay for you to like Nicki's music and like Nicki, but also call Nicki out when she's wrong. Britney Spears. I just posted a video about Britney Spears body shaming Christina Aguilera's dancers. You can love Britney. You can trump for Britney, free Britney, yay, but also call Britney out when Britney is wrong. Those two things can happen. You can also love Britney and love Christina Aguilera at the same time. So I've seen a lot of the Britney stans, not a Britney stan, the Britney stans too, but I've seen a lot of the Nicki stans. Oh, I still stand with Nicki. Really? Okay, you have a right to your opinion, but I'm just like, this was so uncalled for. Garcelle has not said anything. Garcelle, don't say anything. There is no need. And I know some of you are disappointed. Damn it, why didn't this happen before the reunion was filmed? I'm thinking the same thing. Well, YouTuber Aphrodite did a reading back in August, well, a couple of weeks ago, about who may have been behind the bots. And according to them, they did not believe that the bots were bought by a housewife or a castmate. They believe someone was upset by something that Garcelle did on The Real. I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. These celebrities do not need to do their own, dirty work. They don't. These fans will do it for them. They do it all the time. The Barbers do it all the time. But I do find this whole situation with Nicki very interesting, especially with the Jennifer situation, her husband situation. Okay. We'll move on. No, we'll move on. You guys will have an opportunity to call in. I've already addressed this in a separate video. Check that out. I just also posted a video on the Britney Spears situation with Christina Aguilera. Christina Aguilera has since unfollowed her. All right. Sherri Shepherd's new show premiered yesterday along with Jennifer Hudson. Where was the promo? Well, we're going to talk about it. We have how many people in the room? Almost 1,200 people in the room. We're going to promote. I told you I'm going to watch it. I did watch Sherri's show. I did not get a chance to watch Jennifer Hudson's show. So as you know, there's been a lot of backlash for Sherri Shepherd because Sherri Shepherd has taken over the Wendy Williams show, the time slot, and her production, the studio, everything. And Sherri, here's the thing, though. You guys in these comments. Here's the thing. We've talked about this, about the social media. Her taking over Nick Cannon's YouTube channel. Her taking over Jerry O'Connell's Instagram. That to me just feels like earn it. Earn it. Especially as people that have built our own. Earn that. So when I look at her YouTube channel and I'm like, you got 150 something. Earn it. And I like Sherri. I watched the show. I thought it was cute. I liked the grandmother that was on there. I was like, oh. It was cute. We shall see how it... Look, daytime TV is tough, but they're putting all of their energy behind Sherri right now. The set is completely different. Kind of, sort of. You can still see the Wendy media wall. I mean, it's the same studio, guys. What do you expect them to do? But give the show a chance. John Murray, who's been in this business for a very long time, as Wendy Williams say, he's been a wag for a very long time. Like he's, gossip and stuff like that for a very long time. He's an executive producer of the show. He's on stage with Sherri, switching it up. No more Norman. Norman's still an executive producer there, though. But, they have to differentiate the shows. I'm going to give Sherri a shot. Did I enjoy the first episode? But it's her first episode as her own show. You got to give people a chance. I'm going to give Jennifer Hudson a chance. I'm not sure about that either. But I set my DVR. I'm going to watch it. 2 black women, 10 a.m. Eastern here in New York City is Sherri. 11 a.m. Eastern is Jennifer Hudson. I'm going to watch it. I'm talking about the shows here because a lot of you were like, it premiered? A lot of people didn't know. The Sherri Shepherd show and the Jennifer Hudson show premiered yesterday. You're welcome, Debmar Mercury and the people that produced Jennifer Hudson's show. Have you guys been watching it? Replay crew. We always want to hear what you guys have to say. What are your thoughts on Sherri Shepherd's show? It's only the first show. It's only the first show. You gotta get your feet wet. You got to get your feet wet. I'm not one of the people just write people off. No, this is her first time being the head of her own show. Jennifer Hudson as well. I mean, there's plenty of other folks on television right now, and I'm like, you're still here? All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. Speaking of supporting the channel, don't forget, Coldest. I love it that you guys hit me up. Kempire, what's the name of that bot? I've been saying it for so long. Coldest is a proud sponsor of the channel, but they don't just have water bottles, guys. There's so much great product coming to coldest.com. But don't forget to use the discount code KEMP10 for 10% off of your order. All right, so be sure to check that out if you haven't already. All right. All this water I'm drinking. Before we take callers, I'm going to need a little bit of a break. All right, let me just see, because during our Tuesday Takeover, we also talk about, okay, before I move on, we got to talk about this because I posted this earlier today. Let me switch my camera. All right. Shout out to our friends over at TV Deets. They were the first to alert us about this new show coming to the international version of The Real Housewives. Okay. So to find out, Pretoria. So when I heard about, I was like, yay, another, South Africa city is coming to, the international franchise. Another show that we can't watch, but it's okay. All right. So at first I was like, when I saw the trailer, I was like, look, and then I didn't want to assume. So, I'm going to post a tweet. I said, excuse my ignorance. However, this isn't South Africa. So the end says, where is this? South Africa. But some of you that are from there said to me, well, this part of South Africa is the majority is white. And according to TVDC, it says introducing the cast of The Real Housewives of Pretoria. I'm not going to mess up their names. It's the 5th housewife show in Africa following The Real Housewives of Johannesburg, Durban, Lagos, and Cape Town, but the first to be produced in Afrikaans. All right. So this is the cast, y'all. So no black people live in Pretoria at all? I find that hard to believe. But you guys will let me know. You will let me know. There's no black people in Pretoria at all. Someone said The Real Housewives of Colonialism. Damn. Naturally, Paige, I know that, but I expected at least maybe a lot more black people on the class on the cast than this. All right, you guys will let me know how it is. Maybe. Okay, all right. Speaking of TV deeds, I did want to talk about the ratings. Every Tuesday Takeover, we talk about the ratings as well. The Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion ratings. And what else did I want to, what other? Oh, Married to Medicine ratings. Okay. So let me share my screen again. So the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion ratings. Perfect ratings. It's very good. They says, are you Team Marlo or Team Candy after watching the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion? Part 1 earned a 0.35 in the demo. And over 1,028,000 live viewers, tying the season high back on August 7th with the same demo and over 1,026,000 viewers, live viewers at the time. All right. And let's look at the Married to Medicine. Married to Medicine ratings was okay. Look, okay. Love and Marriage Huntsville ratings, 495,000 viewers. Let me just share my screen again. Yeah. You see that? Look, you see that? Okay. I think this is a perfect second. Before we get into my segue, let me just say this. I believe, where is the, I don't see the, hold on, let me refresh. That might be it. No, I don't see the ratings for Married to Medicine, but I know they posted it. So let me go to Twitter real quick. Hold on, y'all. Because I want to talk about, we're going to talk about the Kennedy and Carlos situation in a second. But I do wanted to talk about the ratings for, there we go, for Married to Medicine first. So Married to Medicine earned 0.18 in the demo. All right. And 623,000 viewers. Okay. They're consistent. They stay in the 600,000 range. But the way that you guys go so hard for Married to Medicine, I would think that there would be a lot more viewers. Sassy Bell says, maybe Carlos should focus on his own show and their ratings. Okay, we're going to talk about the Carlos situation. Let's talk about the Carlos situation. Okay, before we talk about the Carlos situation, let me just say thank you. Julie, thank you so much for another super chat. Julie says, Sherri Shepherd's show was awful, in my opinion. Won't last a year. She just seemed uncomfortable. Best part was the grandma, and that was it. I did love that part. Julie, we see each other. Okay? Thank you so much, Julie, for another super chat. Says, will now be a part of the replay crew. Can't wait. Thank you, Julie. We appreciate your support and your husband's money. Jerry, thank you so much for the super chat. Jerry says, Nicki's attacks against black women are nasty. Nicki should be mad at her predator husband. Thanks, Jerry, for the super chat. I mean, I'm just shocked at how many people just kind of overlook that. Alexa, thank you so much for the super chat. Alexa says, love your YouTube channel and all of your content. Thank you so much, Alexa. We appreciate that. All right. Let's talk about it. So, I know a lot of you are asking, Kempire, how come you didn't interview Kandi? I wasn't asked. It's okay, though. It's all right. But a lot of my fellow other content creators did get an opportunity to speak to Kandi yesterday. She did a press day with YouTubers, which is another reason to love Kandi. I know a lot of you think I'm paid by her. Clearly, I am not. She spent the time yesterday doing multiple interviews with content creators, answering all of their questions. Our friends over at the House of Aaron shout out to Aaron, because you got this moment because you asked the right questions. So there have been all kinds of rumors about Kandi's relationship with Carlos King. For those that don't know who Carlos King is, he was an executive producer of Real Housewives in Atlanta, in New Jersey. He's produced reality TV. He is now the producer of Love and Marriage Huntsville and Love and Marriage DC and Bell Collective, shows that we talk about and recap here all the time. I've talked about the rumors that Carlos was fired because he was the producer behind, allegedly, the Phaedra, Portia, and Kandi debacle that happened on the show. He has denied that multiple times. Okay, got to say it all. All right. But there has seemed to be an issue between Carlos King and Kandi, but she's never really spoke on it at length until now. So when she dropped by the House of Aaron on YouTube, Aaron asked her about, is there beef? Do you have beef with Carlos King? What is it? One of the Kandi fan pages that follow me on Twitter were the first people that I saw say this, that Carlos was the producer that was trying to steal and sell the Escape bio. And that's when Escape reunited to stop this from happening. All right? Let's take a look at what Kandi says. Let me just cue this up for you guys. So, because I think it's important to hear Kandi say it in her own words. Okay? Let me rewind this back. Let me share my screen. All right. Let me take me out of it so you guys can see what she has to say. All right. So let me play this.
So first of all, the main reason, my main issue with Carlos is he is the one who stole my group's life story and sold it to TV1. And for that, I just can't get past it. He had been working with us that entire season on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. That last year he was with us. Him and Todd had already had some like little issues, business issues, because they were doing a production company together. So they already had some things they had dealt with personally, but we was trying to move past that and still work together on the show because he was executive producing. What season was that? 9 or whatever.
Yes.
And he was his last year. Okay, so let's say the season wrapped in November. In December, someone tells me, I was talking to a friend. I was like, hey, we should do like a movie about, our group's life or whatever. And they were like, it was a director that Todd and I were speaking. And they was like, somebody's already doing it. And I was like, what you mean somebody's doing it? And so in my mind, I'm thinking it was one of my group members or something. And it was like, yeah, it's a network that's already like, because I took a meeting about directing it. And I was like, what? Now, mind you, just wrapped season 9. The season in like either top of December or November, end of November right there. December, I'm hearing that this movie has been sold to a network. So I come to find out a couple weeks later, I'm trying to find out what is going on, and come to find out it was, in sidebar, his other producing partner, one of the producers that worked for him, who was also at the time I thought was super cool, had called my mom, was like, oh yeah, we want to do a interview you because we're trying to do a documentary about girl groups or something. So we want to ask you questions about, Escape. My mom was going to do it or whatever, but come to find out, he was the person who had did the deal with TV One to sell Our Life Story. He was, and my mom and it was going to try to ask my mother questions about us unknowingly to get more information, I guess, for the show. So anyway, I just thought that was the lowest thing that anybody could ever do.
Wait, but how did he have the rights to your story?
He didn't have the rights to our story. What I found out, because of course, I was calling lawyers and everything, and I found out at the time that when you're a public figure, people can do
unauthorized.
They can do unauthorized stories about you. Right. And at the time, we had already done behind the music type of thing on TV One or whatever. Okay. No, TV One. Remember, Unsung. How they Unsung, yeah. So they had certain information that I guess they could base the movie off of. But my thing was, I was like, never once, all them years we have been around each other, he had never once told me that he was trying to do a movie about us, and to go behind my back and to do that, and that's our life story.
Right.
I was like, I can't fuck with him ever again.
Wow.
I did not want to. I did reach out to him at first. He didn't answer the phone because I had just heard it, so I wasn't sure that it was him. So I was calling him, but like, yo, like, what is this? He didn't answer my calls. But then when we did some things to start like reaching out to the network to try to get the whole situation shut down, then all of a sudden he reaches out to me. And I didn't want to talk after that. I was like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't ever have to talk to you again. And that's just how I feel. I'm like, that is the lowest of the low. Our first spinoff was the wedding, or one of them. I think our spinoff was the first show that he was executive producer for. I literally fought for him to be executive producer of my show, to be the lead exec producer. Right. So for you to have somebody that you went out for, and I always respected him as a producer, to do that to me, I was like, I have no respect for him. Oh. And so for him to now, every time he turn around, he got something to say about me, I'm like, I just give him no energy. But that right there, my life story, that shit gets me emotional, and it pisses me off. So yeah, I don't have nothing for him.
Awkward silence. As always, here on the channel, we cite our sources. I'll be posting the link to the full interview with the House of Aaron in the description of this video. So here are my thoughts. Now that she said it, I've heard the rumors about this. Like I said to you before, a Candy fan site was the first people that I saw mention that Carlos was the producer behind trying to steal the Escape life story. Now we understand, Carlos likes to say that, oh, no, we don't have any issues. No, Candy just confirmed that y'all have an issue. And based off the sneaky, underhanded things that Carlos and his team tried to do to try to get that information from Mama Joyce? Mama Joyce. Y'all tried to get the story from Mama Joyce. I could not believe my eyes. I did not plan to talk about this until I saw it right before we went live. This makes me look at Carlos King in a whole different way. Look, there have been all kinds of rumors about Carlos and how he produces his shows. And, you know, you all have things to say, including myself. But this to me, and when she started getting choked, you know, when Candy get into the crying voice, I was like, I didn't expect it. Because this really hurt Candy. Because here's the thing. It's one thing to have a production company try to do this. She worked with Carlos. As she said, she also tried to, she really advocated for him to be the executive producer of her spinoff. So for him to do that, when you work with this person, you're laughing in my face, but the whole time you're behind my back doing this, instead of coming to me and say, you know what, I have this idea. What do you think about this? You have the connection to the person. So why would you not have that conversation? Or maybe this is just the way that you are. I have to say, I am truly disgusted. Carlos just disliked the video. It's all right, Carlos. We know you watch. But Candy has never spoken out about this. At least not to my knowledge. This is the very first time that she's confirmed that Carlos did this. Now it makes me, did anyone in the chat, did anyone confirm if she thinks that he was behind the whole rumors that were being spread by Phaedra during that season and why Phaedra ends up being kicked off the show and he ends up no longer being with the show? I felt for Candy. You know, people like to dog Candy and say Candy's this and blah, blah, blah. But again, like she said, because she's a public figure, people can do this. They can make, you know, these pictures. Look, we've seen it with Whitney Houston. We've seen it with so many other, you know, we've seen it with Michael Jackson. We've seen it with so many different celebrities. But it hurts a little bit more when you know who the person is, when you've worked with this person. Literally, Todd and Carlos produced together, and they had a falling out. And it hurts even more when it's a black person doing it to you. Has Carlos responded on his social media? You know he's going to respond, but he's going to probably monetize it and talk about it on his podcast. And a lot of you, you know, you're like, oh, why he can talk about, you know, the Housewives. He was a producer. And I've even said that he can't talk about the Housewives because he's a producer. But here's the thing. Now, every time you talk about Candy, people are going to be like, what's the motivation behind this? Oh, because she stopped your bag about stealing her life story? Stealing her life story. I'm glad that Candy talked about it. I like transparency with the people that we see in these realms. And now that she's mentioned it all, what do you guys think? Guys, I will be posting the call-in link. We have over 1,500 people in the building. I'll post the call-in link once we let's get to, I'm going to say 650 likes. Mods, is that okay? Mods will let me know. All right. But if you are a member of the channel, I'm going to drop the call-in link right now. I'm going to drop the call-in right now because I want to know your reaction to this information and everything else that we talked about. But when you call in, pick the most pressing thing that you want to talk about. Not everything. All right. Not everything. All right. Let me stay first. Let me just drop this call-in link. Let me just drop the call-in link, y'all. And again, guys, I will be posting the link to House of Aaron's interview because you know what we do here? Cite our sources, and congratulations to House of Aaron for asking the right questions and for getting this snippet. All right. Let me just drop this link for Royal Court members. I'm going to drop the call-in link first for you on the community tab on YouTube. And shout out to everyone watching on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok. I see you guys. We got 40-something people in the TikTok live chat. I love you all watching from behind the scenes. You guys get to see how hard I'm working. Look how hard I'm working, or hardly working. Really? All right, let me just drop this link for members first. All right. And thank you to our mods. Guys, don't forget to say hello and thank you to our mods. We appreciate them being here for our Tuesday takeover and handling everything when I cannot. Can you imagine me trying to mod and host the show and produce the show? What did Nene say? You ain't gonna win. Wait, you're not gonna win when you play dirty, Carlos King. I have to say, it really makes me look at Carlos like, you know, I try to keep an open mind, but then when people lay out the information, you're like, oh, well, look, there's two sides to every story. What's your side, Carlos? I'm sure, again, he'll be talking about it on his podcast. All right. All right. So if you're a member of the channel, I've posted the call-in link, Royal Court members on the community tab. Team Kempire members, I'll be posting the call-in link shortly thereafter on the community tab as well. All right. Let me move this over here. And let me change this here. Hold on. Let me say thank you. We had a super chat. Hey, Zeus, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, Zeus says, low, down, and dirty. Thank you, Jesus, for the super chat. We appreciate you. All right. If I missed your super chat, I apologize. You saw I was running behind the scenes trying to do stuff. So, all right. Yes. And we do have the best mods ever. Thank you to our mods for being here. Oh, thank you so much, Joanne. I couldn't think, you know, I'm live. I can't think of all the quotes. She said, you can never win when you play dirty. Look, I'm sure Candy has lied in the past, but I believe Candy. I've never seen Candy to be a liar. You know what I mean? And look, Tauruses are not liars. Not all of us. Oh my God. You know who is a liar? Drew Sidora. Drew. Woo, woo, woo. Woo, woo, woo. All right. All right. Let me see what you guys are. Hold on, y'all. Let me take a sip from our coldest water bottle. We already have a few people backstage. We're taking callers. If you're just joining us, this is our Tuesday takeover. We're live on multiple platforms. Be sure to like us on the platform that you're on. Share us with your friends and family. Subscribe to the channel. At 2:30, we will be premiering the visual version of our podcast on the Kempire Radio YouTube channel. So callers, we got to be brief and quick. All right. If you are a Team Kempire member, I am dropping the call-in link as well right now for you. Let's get to these other callers, though. I'm going to bring up Brooklyn Star first. What's going on, Brooklyn Star?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, so I wanted to talk about the Candy thing because it took me for a loop because I knew that there was something behind it. I never thought that she would talk about it because I already knew he was lying. Oh. And I was so happy that she got it out there because you could see the subliminals that he kept sending her way, and it's trying to act like he wasn't. And the other day with that interview with the other YouTuber, I just thought it was fake. He was just like, I'm just going to talk about it one time. I don't want to be asked about it again. I just think he wants these accolades that, you know, eventually he will get and he will earn, but he just feels like his ego is on another level. Like it's on another level. And I really hope that the Huntsville crew really read their contracts well. And I'm just wondering if the hosts get the credit they deserve, like an EP and things like that. Things are not stolen rights or anything are stolen from them as well. And that's about it because he's very sneaky. I think he feels like something's owed to him. And I don't know why he's going about it this way. If you have talent, you're going to get it one way or the other. Look how long like Cheryl Lee deserved an Emmy and she just got it. You'll get yours if it's meant to be or meant to it'll be meant to be.
I love how you segued that into the Emmy conversation that we had. Like, okay, professional.
I love her. Okay, she's a vampire in these streets. She doesn't age. She looks good, like for decades. I would like to know her regimen. Okay, That's what I would like to know.
Me too.
But that's all, Kempire. But
Thank
I
you.
really hope people read their contracts very well with an attorney, a good one, when they're doing business with Carlos, because his greed and ego is destroying him. That's a
All right. Thank you so much, Brooklyn Star, for calling in.
no problem, Kempire. Thank you.
All right. All right. We hit our goal. Hold on. I'm not going to forget. Live chat. I'm dropping the call-in link for you guys as well. Hold on. Let me drop the call-in link. All right. So I've dropped the call-in link. Let me drop it for Facebook, YouTube, and all those places too. Hold on. All right. And if you're a member of the channel, I've already dropped the call-in link on the community tab on YouTube. All right. Let me drop this here and let me pin this here. This is how many things I got to do. All right. So it's pinned. All right. Rakita's Closet. I'm going to bring you up next. Hold on. Let me find my mouse. There we go. All right. Rakita, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire.
What's going on?
I missed you, but I've been silently stalking you, so I haven't missed you that much. But I'm gonna get back to actively stalking you.
Oh,
I have. But real quick, I just want to comment on the Nicki situation. I was so disappointed. I'm a fan of hers. I'm not a barb. I'm a whole adult. I can't be in a cult, but I am a fan.
okay.
And I was so disappointed in the way she came after. Because listen, even though you disagree with someone, but in that situation, I don't get how she can disagree. But even if she did, there's a better way to state how you feel than cussing out somebody, calling her names, and you definitely don't go after her child. I was just so disappointed. I was like, girl, I'm going to have to get you off my iPod for a little while.
Okay, maybe.
But that's it. I love you. See you later.
Thank you, Rakita. All right. Rakita said she was stalking me behind the scenes. Okay, Rakita. All right. Guys, if you're just joining us, this is our Tuesday Takeover where we cover a variety of reality TV news, pop culture news. We've talked about a lot, Replay Crew. I want to know where you're watching from, what you thought of 90 Day Fiancé and the other shows that we talked about. I can't believe we're on the 14th episode of The Family Chantel. I watched a little bit of it. A mess. A pre-produced mess. Replay Crew, I also want to know your thoughts on this whole Candy situation as well. All right. Jasmine's backstage. I'm going to bring her up. Hold on, Jasmine. Hold on. Hey, Jasmine. What's going on?
Hey, Ken. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm at work on my break, so I'm going to keep it short and cute.
Okay.
So I want to talk about Nicki Minaj and just overall, like, she is so talented. You can't take that from her. But she is disgusting. Like, she's just been making me just feel so uncomfortable like the past few years, and it's really hard to even enjoy her music because every song has a sneak this, everything has a sneak this, and it's kind of like, I don't want to make it about age, but it's like, girl, you've been in the game for so long that are we really sitting here yelling and cursing out a grown woman, possibly hiring bots and then beefing with all these young girls all day online? And then it's like, I don't know who to blame, her or her fan base. Like, they're delusional, and it makes you just want to like log off because it's like, I can't, like, you cannot win with her or the Barbs. And it's just, I don't know. It's just disgusting. And I'm just mad that she even came at Garcelle the way she did, because it's like, Garcelle is such a woman of class and she doesn't bother anybody. She was actually an amazing addition to The Real and gave a very mature point of view. She never chose sides. She just spoke her truth and had her own opinion. So it just goes to show that there was some truth behind that interview that made Nicki so upset in the first place. So yeah, that's it.
All right, Jasmine, thank you so much for calling in. All right. Jada is backstage. I'm going to bring Jada up. What's going on, Jada?
Hi, Cam. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Sorry, I had to run. I was in. Okay. So I think the first thing I want to address is the Nicki Minaj thing. She honestly, like, she's been beefing a lot online, and I don't understand it with a lot of Black creators specifically. Like, I'm in Toronto, and there's this little podcast, and this Trinidadian guy went on there, and he was talking about how she's Trinidad so hard in her songs, but she hasn't made any soca music. Why did this woman take the time out of her day to go on the video and on their podcast page for sharing their own opinions. And then she got into it with another Black creator. And I'm just like, aren't you rich and famous? Don't you have other things to be doing? Like, why are you, I don't want to say like not on her level, but it's like, why are you taking time out of your day to drag these people for doing the same thing that you're doing, sharing your opinion? I don't understand it. I also just want to say I love you and I'm so happy that you're back. I really enjoy the live streams and thank you to all the mods and thank you to everyone and keep doing you. Love you, Kemp.
Thank you, Jada. Take care. I love how she kept it short and cute, y'all. Callers, please do the same. Some of these names back here. All right, let me bring up Lizzie next. What's going on, Lizzie?
Hi, Kempire. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So, first of all, great conversation. I really love watching you and listening to you. I want to talk about the Nicki situation, right? I am a Nicki fan, and I also love Garcelle. I am a rational barb, right? I'm not irrational. I'm able to call out, when Nicki isn't doing the right thing. I'm able to say, okay, she isn't doing the right thing. All right. So I need you to understand something about Nicki. She's the kind of person that when something is happening, she may not necessarily talk about it. She will wait after like some time. She's the type of people that they won't necessarily react immediately, right? But then when they do, they go over the bud. You understand what I'm saying? So she's the type of person that she's not able to balance her emotions. You know what I'm saying? And I feel definitely what she spoke about, aside from Garcelle, was I understood her perspective. But her talking about Garcelle, though I can understand her feeling affected by it, it was too much. She could have easily said, this affected me, but her bringing Garcelle's son into the mix was just not right. I really hope she gets, I don't know what is going on. I understand maybe there are a lot going on behind the scenes that we don't really know about. I need people to also be understanding and, just not really bash Nicki too much. But the whole situation with the interview, I remember when the interview came up, I wasn't really happy, to be honest. I felt that they brought this lady without really doing enough research, right? And this lady has come out to say she's not, videos of her saying it wasn't the truth, came out like after that interview, just her stories just changing, not really being consistent. And I think that was the period Nicki's dad died also.
But is it Garcelle's fault or the other lady's fault, or is it the producer's fault?
It is the producer's fault. But I feel like the reason why she spoke about Garcelle is because Garcelle is in a public platform on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, right? And she is talking about the whole situation affecting her son, right? So she's trying to say, if you can, you are feeling bad about your son being affected, but what about, did you think about my son being affected by that story that was spoken about? So I think she's just not enunciating her words properly or her feelings properly. How she came up was just very strong, and Nicki she literally will say so many things that will go crazy about like the virus, the vaccine, she's that type of person that, she would just say whatever, like she's not able to filter her thoughts, in my own opinion. Do you understand? So it's not Garcelle's fault. I need her to understand that, but I know why she didn't talk about the other ladies. She spoke more on Garcelle because Garcelle is coming out to say, please stop. My son is being affected by this. So she's like, but my own son, which has some, because they were really going in on her family, is affected by it also. So that's my own take on it.
Okay,
thank you very much.
And we appreciate it. Thank you so much, Lizzie. All right. And look, we do. For those that may be new to the channel or unfamiliar with the channel, we welcome everyone's opinion. But you see how Lizzie was able to share her opinion and not be offensive to myself or to anyone listening? We can do this. We can have this conversation, and everyone has a right to how they feel. All right. Even if you don't necessarily agree. But speaking of Nicki, one of the things that I forgot to talk about was Nicki also dragging Lonnie Love. She has now deleted that tweet. Hold on. I know I saved the tweet. Where is my... Oh, I don't have it here. Hold on, y'all. Because I know I have the actual tweet, the screen cap of the tweet. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Because, you know, I like to cite my sources. And this is from the Jasmine brand. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up, y'all. Excuse me, y'all. Okay. Where is that tweet? Here it is. All right. Let me share my screen again. So this was the other, hold on, y'all. There we go. She says, someone says to Nicki, I want somebody to drag Lonnie Love a word too, but hey, that's just me. Then Nicki reposts this, which is now deleted, and says, I can't drag her by myself, that's for sure. Okay. All right. Let's get to some more callers, guys. Again, if you're just joining us, this is our Tuesday Takeover where we cover a variety of reality TV news, and pop culture news. Replay crew, we always want to hear what you guys have to say as well. Be sure to let us know your thoughts and opinions, but be professional with your opinion, not derogatory. Those people will be blocked and deleted. Just saying. All right. Joe is backstage. We're going to bring him up next. What's going on, Joe?
Not much, just spilling some virtuously shady tea across the Twitterverse.
Okay, what are your thoughts?
Well, yeah, thoughts on what Lizzie mentioned. I think she had great thoughts there. What I would say is the thing about Erica and Garcelle, like Garcelle actually, or I guess with Garcelle, Nicki Minaj on their reel, they really simply reported the thing on the allegations that Nicki and her husband have actually done.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like it just came out of nowhere, right? So that's why if we're talking about indirect impact to the kids, if those allegations are true, then there is some action that Nicki and Kenneth actually did that could have directly impacted the kid, even if Garcelle and the rest of the panel in the reel actually didn't cover it, because it would be covered elsewhere.
And it was.
Yeah, and with Jax, he was just a bystander. Like, he really had nothing to do with this, but he was still being slammed. So I don't necessarily think it's the same. Yes, the both kids are potentially impacted, but one potentially has more fault than the other. That's just my thought on it.
Okay.
And I guess my one question for you, Kempire, are you buying anything from the She by Sherri shop while you still can get in the site?
I am not, because everyone yesterday when we were talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta, they was like, I'm not putting my credit card information into that website. And I said, I didn't think about that. Because originally I was ready to buy something at the 9 o'clock hour. And then nothing happened. Now I'm over it. And those prices are ridiculous. Are you buying something, Joe?
No, I'm just gonna watch one of you all actually volunteer as tribute to buy the thing, and then wait.
Not as tribute.
When it actually arrives.
Okay. When it actually arrives. Okay. All right,
Yeah.
Joe. Thank you so much for calling in.
Okay, bye.
Bye. You guys are hilarious. All right. Let's bring up another caller. Yeah, I'm not buying anything now. I mean, if She by Sherri wants to send me something, okay, but I'm not putting my credit card information into that. All right. Okay. Kari's backstage because I recognize the photo. I'm not going to even talk about the name. Kari, what's going on? Thoughts?
Yes, hello. I am the number one Nicki Minaj hater in the world. I cannot stand that woman. I do not think that it is like when we look at R. Kelly, right? And we know that we've given him so much power by supporting his music, and he was able to victimize so many people through that power. How can we say that we support Nicki, we are okay with Nicki, but we don't approve of her husband? She is actively using her power to slander the victim to the point where there are people calling on your platform saying that there's a video of this woman saying that he didn't do it when that video was heavily edited and it's already been debunked. But of course, because Nicki Minaj is pushing this narrative out, that's what her fans are going to say. So my entire read today is going to be focused on Nicki. I have nothing to say about anyone else.
Okay.
Nicki Minaj, you stay crying about people disrespecting your legacy and undermining your worth like you didn't do that yourself by marrying that melted anteater. You trying to drag Garcelle like it's her fault you had federal marshals in your delivery room telling that bum not to touch you or your child. Like it's her fault you can't go on family vacations because your husband can't leave the country. You weren't thinking about your own child or their well-being when you knowingly chose a predator for a husband. The whole world can find your address with a click of a button, but you want to blame everybody but your own lack of functioning brain cells and bottom of the barrel self-esteem. You stay calling Jennifer a liar like you are not walking proof that man is a predator. Check the ages, please. Man went to jail when he was 16, sat there for a year until he was convicted, and then got out of jail when he was an adult. So either he was messing with you before he went to jail and you were 11, or he was messing with you after he got out of jail and you were still underage, because y'all dated when you were younger, right? Okay. When he couldn't keep taking it, he decided it was easier to manipulate children. You want people to kiss that gravel-filled butt of yours because when you look in the mirror, there is no self-validation to be found. That man is a certified creep. And you bashing black women and their kids like they forced you to have low self-esteem and a minuscule sense of self-worth. Calling yourself the queen is irrelevant when you move, act, and marry like a brain-dead peasant. You weaponize blackness with your coat when you know you can't beat someone in a battle of words, but got more issues with black women than a lifeguard banning swim caps. Yo mama raised an abuser and a neuron-deprived silicone dummy with a fetish for an apist. Her uterus is like a landfill. It only houses trash.
Okay, Kari. Thank you for calling in.
No problem. I've had problems with the barbs. I do not like Nicki, in case you guys could not tell.
We could tell.
Mm-hmm.
Bye. You see what's scrolling, right? Just saying. Let's move on. Drew, not Drew's only fan. Okay. Let me bring up Drew's only fan. I think this is Kathleen.
No.
Catherine?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Not confused with OnlyFans. Don't do that.
Her
Don't do that.
only fan.
Yeah.
Drew Sidora's only fan. Okay.
I should have added that. So we're not going to talk about Drew right now. That's later. I just want to talk about Sherri's show. I watched it. I missed it yesterday because I wanted to do better things in my life. So I wanted to give it a fair shake today. And I made the better decision yesterday. So I watched it today to give it a fair shake. And she had the real OG Ricky Lake on. And Ricky is doing good things with her life. Like, sis looks good. She has a new man. And Sherri kept over talking her for some unknown reason. Like, if Sherri's going to over talk all of her guests, why are we watching? Just why? We could just go to her late night comedy specials. We could listen to her podcast with her friend. We don't want to listen to you over talk your guests. We want to see you host a show. We want to see you interact with your guests, not over talk them. When I watched J Hud's show afterwards with Magic Johnson, she had a much better give and take with Magic Johnson. She actually let Magic Johnson speak. So we're going to skip Sherri. We're going to watch and support J Hud. She had much better give and take with her guests. And the sad part about it is Sherri has done daytime before.
Mm-hmm.
She had The View. So, like, Sherri has done and should know better. So I don't know what I was watching. I don't know what she was doing. She should know and do better. So
Okay.
I'm going to pray for her to get her life together.
Okay. Thank you for your analysis.
Y'all welcome.
Take
Have
care.
a good one.
You too. Drew's only fan. Okay, we're going to take some more callers, guys. Don't forget, at 2:30 p.m. Eastern on the Kempire Radio YouTube channel, we will have a live premiere of the visual version of our podcast where I talk about some hot topics, but we're also talking about Reiki. You want to know what that is? We have an expert that's coming through that's going to explain exactly what that is. That will be on the Kempire Radio YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe there and subscribe to our podcast, Kempire Radio, on all major podcast platforms. All right, let's get to some more callers. We have Dewan backstage. We're going to bring Dewan up. What's going on, Dewan?
Hey, what's up, Kempire? How you doing?
Not bad. How are you?
I don't know what the hell is going on, but it won't let me do my member thing. It just keeps taking me to some Google script thing. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But I really quickly, I had to jump in. Big Barb, okay?
Oh, God.
I'll be in New York to see her perform at Rolling Loud. Love the queen. Love her music. Nobody's checking her when it comes to the pen. I said all of that to say I've been extremely disappointed in Nicki Minaj and the actions that she's chosen over the last couple of years. But I'll still support her. Mm-hmm. I'll still support her because I like the music, and I like to think that I can separate, and I've said this previously, an artist from things they do publicly. Mm-hmm. Okay? I like your music. I rhyme to some of the things you do in the club with so many artists. We can talk about so many of the artists that have done things. What confuses me outside of the husband thing, which is unforgivable, really, because it's like, all right, Nicki. What confuses me with the internet talk and the tweets, etc. What is so different from Nicki Minaj getting on Twitter and making a rant as opposed to a fan getting on your YouTube show and reading a soliloquy? Mm. What's the difference, except for she has $85 million? Somebody made a comment earlier that says, oh, shouldn't you be doing something else? Actually, when you have $85 million, you probably have the luxury to spend 2 hours on Twitter if you choose to do so, because I'm sure she has investments, etc., money that makes them sell. So I'm sure she probably has the luxury to do that. I find that's the only thing that I find wrong with any of the Nicki stuff. Like if you feel that she's done something wrong on Twitter by calling people out, that's fine. But then for you to go back and do the exact same thing and talk about her mom and her kids and all that stuff, that's odd. And it's reciprocating the bad behavior that's been spoken out against. You do a fantastic job. I love your show. I look forward to watching it, and I can't wait till the next episode a lot. But I just had to say that because it was just, it's just so weird, and like I said, I'm a fan, but there's things that she's done that I think are inexcusable, but I don't get on Twitter and just say, oh, how dare you, da, 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 da. No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dewan. Thank you so much for calling in. Everyone has a right to their opinion. I love the fact that our callers share their opinion in such a professional way. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. Okay. Miss Esquire, I see there's two of you backstage. Let me see if I can figure this out. Hold on. Let me see if this is the right one. Miss Esquire, are you there?
Yes, I'm so sorry. I'm not good with technology. I'm such an elder millennial. Good afternoon. Hello to all the mods. Thank you for everything you do. We love you so much. I am going to talk about Nicki Minaj, but I'm going to try to be a little balanced. Here's the thing. Nicki fell in love with someone who did something, and I'm going to say he did it because he was convicted in 1995, and he has been consistently registering as a sex offender since his release up until 2021, right? So he was convicted. He, has complied with the terms of his release. You fell in love with someone who did something really terrible. You're not the first person to do that. And none of us are the worst thing we've ever done. And I think everybody is capable of having grace and rehabilitation and redemption. The problem with that is when you go out and you harass a victim of sexual assault, not only you and your husband, to try to get her to recant her story because it is inconvenient for your lifestyle and for the family that you want to build, that is a problem. And the Barbs are wrong. That woman has never recanted her story. She has been pretty consistent over the last 20 years, and that is what she came to The Real to say. And she has never given an interview like she did with The Real. And I'm really happy that a platform that has been created basically by women of color gave her a place to talk about the abuse and to talk about the harassment. I understand Nicki Minaj taking umbrage with them giving her that platform, and she's entitled to those feelings. I do think it's a step too far to go after Garcelle specifically because all of the hosts of The Real were there, including Adrian Bailon. So if you got smoke, have smoke equally. But I understand Nicki being like, listen, you giving this woman a platform to talk about these things that she's alleging my husband and I have done to harass her is hurtful to my family and it affects my son eventually, even though it's not direct. Where she misses me is this woman has been consistent that your husband did this thing to her. And I'm sorry, the way Nicki Minaj moves, it is not implausible to believe that they have been harassing that woman. There is a lawsuit still pending against her husband, though Nicki was dropped from it. There's still a harassment lawsuit pending against her husband. So for me, one, it is not very smart of you. If I were your lawyer advising you, I would not have you on the internet with your millions of fans on your platform going after someone because they gave an interview to a plaintiff who is still suing your husband. That feels like witness intimidation to me. That feels like harassment to me. That feels like your ass getting added back to that lawsuit to me. So if you were smart, you would just sit over there and eat your food and let the legal system play itself out. If your husband has not been harassing that woman, he will find his day in court. But I'm like, we have to separate. I don't have a problem that she married this man. I have fallen in love with someone who has done things that other people might not find so high and so moral. That's okay. Everybody is worthy of love. He probably is a wonderful person. What I did at 15 is not who I am now. So it's separate from that. It's what you're still doing to this woman, further victimizing her, all because you can't accept that you marry someone who comes with complications for your life. That I don't appreciate, that I don't respect. I wish somebody would tell Nicki she's great. I wish somebody would tell her in a way that she can hear it and she can feel it, because after 20 years in the game, this woman is still fighting to just be seen and heard and recognized, and it's pathetic to watch. My fave would never. So thank you, Kempire. We love you as always. Thank you, mods. Bye.
Thank you, Miss Esquire. Wow. Another caller. We have some of the best callers, if not the best callers in the world, across all platforms, TikTok, I see you guys watching and being a part of the conversation as well. Hold on, let me charge y'all up, TikTok, because y'all about to lose. Hold on, y'all. Woo, y'all about to lose some power over there. Hold on. If you're just joining us, this is our Tuesday Takeover, where we cover a variety of reality TV news, pop culture news, and more. I want to say thank you to Sheila in the on YouTube. She gifted 5 memberships. We appreciate your support, Sheila. Hope you are feeling and doing very well. Thank you so much for that. Thank you to our moderators. Callers that are backstage. I see you, Brooklyn Star. I also see Sebastian. You gotta be quick, because at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, we are going to be having a live premiere on the Kempire Radio YouTube channel. So right after this, okay? Right after this. So let me get to these calls very quickly. Hold on. Brooklyn Star.
Hi, Kempire.
Thoughts?
I never go back, but I just wanted to say with the Nicki thing, I think she's regretting the choices that she's made. If you live in competitive educational areas, I think it's about that time where they start interviewing families. And I think everything is just starting to hit her like, whoa, my life is not going to go the way it's planned, because in California or either New York, it's very hard to get your kid into good schools. They interview you and check your background down. Yeah. And I think she's realizing like, hey, my husband can never come up to the school. I will never be able to have a kids party. I will never they're going to think she's a single mother, like, because her husband cannot go anywhere near where children are. I think she's just thinking that her power, that him not registering would solve everything, and it didn't. Like, it just made it worse, and now everybody knows what your husband's done or who he is, and it's making it complicated for your kid. You've made the choices for your child. You knew all this before you married the man. That's on you. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Brooklyn Star. Perspective. That's another thing to keep in mind. All right, Sebastian Shade, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Sebastian?
Hi, Kempire. I want to sound off on the Nicki Minaj and Garcelle situation. Nicki and her Barbs could go do whatever they want to themselves, because at this point, it's very disrespectful that you are calling a woman out of her name just because she did her job. Maybe you should do your job and stand by survivors instead of being by an ayer. I don't know. I'm not gonna say that word here.
Please
an
don't.
ayer and an esser. Yeah, S-ayer. It's just clearly disrespectful. It was so uncalled for, and it shows the type of person that you are, and your fan base that follows you as well. It shows the type of people that you are. That you're so stuck up into yourself that whenever a woman comes forward towards anyone close to you, you will make sure that they're silent. That's a problem for me. And I used to like Nicki Minaj a lot as a kid. I used to love Nicki. Well, now all that love has turned to hate. Have a nice day, Kempire.
Thank you, Sebastian. Not hate. Look, not hate. I would hopefully not hate. Guys, that's going to be a wrap for our Tuesday Takeover. Don't forget, we will be having our live watch party for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills tomorrow. I guess, well, we don't have no Dubai to watch tomorrow. Damn. And then, of course, on Thursday, we will have our Real Housewives of Beverly Hills live recap. Thank you to everyone that called in. Thank you to everyone that sent in a super chat. Speaking of super chats, I did not forget you guys. Hold on. Oh, wait, sidebar. Keith, we did talk about Bilal and Shaeeda. I almost forgot, but I did talk about them. Keith, just saying. I did forget about them, though, but I did talk about them. Thank you, Paulette, for the super chat. We appreciate you supporting the channel as well. Okay, let me take this off. All right, back to this. Thank you to everyone that called in. Thank you to everyone that sent in a super chat. Thank you to our Team Kempire and Royal Court members. Thank you to Sheila for gifting memberships today. We appreciate you. And most importantly, thank you to our mods. When we have conversations like this, Nicki Minaj, this whole now Candy and Carlos situation, can be very challenging, but here on the channel, we do welcome everyone's opinion as long as you're able to share those opinions in a positive way. Professional way, because, positive, it can be perception for people. All right, guys. Anyways, thank you all for being here. I will see you guys at 2:30 p.m. Eastern on the Kempire Radio YouTube channel for the live premiere of the visual version of our podcast. Let's talk some hot topics. Let's learn what Reiki is. All that coming right on up. Thank you all for being here. I will see you guys later. All right. Bye.
You both what's on my best life, yeah. You both what's on my best life, yeah. Something you and me, oh. You both what's on my best life, yeah. Jumping, flexing, I just want to know something you and me, oh. You both what's on my best life, yeah. You both what's on my best life, yeah. You both what's on my best life, yeah. Something you and me, oh. You both what's on my best life, yeah. Jumping, flexing, I just want to know something you and me, oh. You both what's on my best life, yeah. You both what's on my best life, yeah. You both what's on my best life, yeah. Something you and me, oh. You both what's on my best life, yeah. What's on my best life, yeah. You both what's on my best life, yeah. Something you and me, oh. like